Hey YouTube, coming at you with a team from Tyler who wrote, "Hey Dan, really enjoying your level-headed approach to videos. This team may not work for everyone, but it worked for me well based on what I was seeing lately. Used it in 22 to elo to veteran. This may have been earlier in the season too. Furret and MEOWSCARADA have incredible matchups against the highest ranked meta Pokemon. Dark and especially grass coverage is so valuable against what I've been seeing, but also has a lot of weaknesses combined, so a marowak was chosen to cover as many weaknesses as possible. You just have to hope Galarian Moltres, oh yeah, that'd be tough, is rare in your elo. Overall, it's a fun team to play. You're generally well served by keeping a shield or two for Meow because it's so glassy. Feel free to criticize. Set meta says go Leafs. Yeah, pray you don't see. What do you even do there? If you see, you're screwed. In short, if you see one, Galarian Moltres, you're screwed. Tough lead there against Gastrodon. Get into interesting. So get into Furret, and they are not leaving. I mean, they could potentially out-shield you here, and there's one shield, but at this point, maybe it's now just in Swift range after the boost. We'll see. Opting to let this go. It is an Earth Power. Oof, so not even a Water Pulse. But we do get the Swift off. It's probably not in Swift range, actually. This will put them just short. But that's okay. Burn the shield, burn the Switch Clock. Now come in here. They've already shown Earth Power, so I don't need to worry about anything there. It is an Ice Pokemon, but you are also Grass. So you're hitting, it's a Water Ice, so you're hitting super effective against each other. Get one Frenzy off. They're going to try and lower your attack first. Man, those Ice Shards are really adding up. Nice catch on what is almost guaranteed to be the Icy Wind. So that is resisted on the fire. You know, they're going to get to a move, and they go into the Zoom Roll, which is a water Pokemon. Either way, you can see your win con here from a mile away. We're just going to chip as much as we can with this Pokemon, get back into our grass Pokemon as soon as we can, over shield everything, use the two shields, and then make sure you have a Frenzy coming out as well. So there's the second Shadow Bone. These are really adding up. Now just, yeah, going to force them to throw because you're close to a Bone Club, but obviously you just let this go. Come on in, Leafage down, shield up an Ice Beam, come out with a Frenzy. Why are you throwing? Why are we throwing here? There's zero reason to throw in this matchup. You have two shields. Okay. So now you burn one shield. And now finally take it out. No, don't ever do that again. You farm down and you come out with a Frenzy to one-shot the Dugong. Shield up the Ice Beam. Fantastic lead. They are weak to fire, so they will get out. Nope. And where are my opponents who play like that? Okay. Zoom Roll comes in. Ice Beam super effective. Probably worth shielding. You said this thing is glassy. I would assume that Ice Beam probably does one-shot. So now we're just going to overfarm a bit here. And we have two moves so that if they decide to shield, we can just win CMP on the next one. And they do, and we do. So it's a pretty heads up play there. Because they're going to try and flip switch. Nope, just go take it to the one shield. You know, not a terrible idea. Bullet Punch is neutral. Your grass move is double resisted. So if they can come out with energy, and that energy is a Night Slash, they would have hit super effective on Marowak. Now, shielding to Gen just get off a resisted Night Slash is a decision. Because now you're just down shields. And it's a Bastiodon in the back, and I think they were just hoping that the Bastiodon can just run through what's left here. Man, that Bone Club does a lot. Bone Club is double super effective on the rock and steel, but still, I thought it was a Bone Club. It wouldn't do that much, but I guess the Marowak is a shadow. I didn't put that in my visual here, so I'll just add that. But wait, did I not? I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. So we have a Charizard here on the lead. Into the Furret. Credilli comes in, so throws that Trailblaze. It'll be a Rock Tomb. It'll lower your attack. And the problem is when it lowers your attack, your second Trailblaze will not take it out. I've just played this matchup, unfortunately. I think you got a little more chip than I did, though. But still does not take it out. Sucker Punch down though. Yeah, I guess they were delayed on the coming in. So able to take that out. I mean, I saw you didn't click the Swift, but they threw anyway, so that's okay. Air Cutter lands, boosts their attack, but does not matter when we have a Gastrodon in the back. How much does a Body Slam do? I have no idea how much a Body Slam does this Pokemon. Okay, like 30%. Leafage is double super effective, very attack heavy, so just farm down. Start launching those Night Slashes. You're going to go back to back here. Here's the first. Grabs a shield. Here's the second. And that will take them out because they know that you have a move on the Marowak. Dugong. Okay lead. Okay to good lead. It's a weird one. Fire Spin is neutral because they're half ice. Ice Shard is resisted. Shadow Bone is a good move, but they do have a Drill Run, which would be super effective. So now you're playing are they going to bait me game with a nice Icy Wind, or are they just going to go straight Drill Run? They do just go straight Drill Run, so the shield is right back. Coming Corsola, which obviously you just absolutely destroy here with. I was going to say destroy, but you actually don't destroy it because they get the Power Gem and you boost your Trailblaze. But with a lower attack, there is a potential that they get to a second move here if you go for the farm down. No, one short. So they're just short, which is nice. I've seen it maybe if you're like delayed, if you like don't come in as fast. That's probably what I've seen. If you don't come in as fast with Furret and you're like one or two Astonishes behind, then they can get to a second Power Gem. But otherwise, get the Trailblaze off and then take out the Dugong. So they are, yeah, probably double Ghost or something in the back. That's not going to have a good time. Lairon. Yeah, Lairon is a Steel Rock. So only taking neutral from the fires. It seems to have Metal Sound. No idea what the movesets are. It is a Rock Tomb. So that would have been super effective on the fire. You're not throwing yet. You have Bone Club, which is double super effective. Super effective on the rock and the steel, so this will one-shot. Now the fast move timing is the what got you there. You tried to fast move time a 2 versus 3 turn move, and it cost you a shield because of it, because you could have just thrown Bone Club to take it out. So now they let that go because they have shield advantage. Oh, and they have a grass in the back here. Yeah, whatever. Just chip it. You don't really have an amazing answer to this. So just chip this much you can. You know, if you're gonna, then don't do that. Okay, 2 things here. Let me stop this. First, I'm pretty sure that Bone Club and Shadow Bone are the same amount of resisted. It should just both be single resisted, but I'm just going to confirm that behind the scenes here. Yes, Ghost and Ground are both single resisted. If you were going to stay in, because you had the potential to just like stay in this matchup, go down, and then align with your Meow, which they couldn't really throw anything at you. You can do that. But if you're going to do that and you're only going to get to one move, throw the Ghost move because it's just a harder hitting one, and Bone Club's not a good move. But if you're going to give up Switch anyways, there's no point of throwing any charge move. Just bank those charge moves for later and get into something. Now you came into Furret. Furret is tough because Sucker Punch is resisted, but Swift comes quick, so I don't hate it, but you know, you're still going to lose that matchup. You're down shields. Marowak can't really come in to do much. Is a Lapras in the back. So while you will get to a Frenzy here, and Psywave is very resisted, they have an Ice Beam. I assume it will one-shot what's left here. And making what was a game-saving catch there, basically your only win con in the ending here was that Ice Beam catch. Oh, it's a Skull Bash at that. Okay, yeah, Skull Bash would have taken out too. Yeah. Oh, well, unless you think this is just Sparkling. Yeah, Sparkling Aria is going to be resistant and be okay. And then their Cacturn comes in. I still think you throw the Frenzy. Night Slash should be enough, but I would have just confirmed it. But yeah, it seems to be enough, and then we'll just go the Frenzy here to take it out, which you don't need a Frenzy because it's in like the very deep red. Okay, great lead against a Scizor, so they will get out of here, and they will get out into a Ghost. And again, very, very quick. This is what you need to do with these types of teams, especially if you know your lead, right? If you know your lead, and it's like, I'm going to have a safe swap. I'm weak to Ghost. I'm weak to Ground. You're basically know exactly where you're going to go. So, and that's why you again did not let them get the extra Astonish through, which helps you not have to take that second Power Gem. So it's like Marowak's on the lead. If I see a water, you may not want to go into the grass directly, but like, no, I'm saying if they go into something. So like if you're on the lead and they go into a rock, you're probably going into the grass Pokemon. If they go into water, you're going into the grass Pokemon. If they go into a Ghost or Dark, if they go into a Ghost, you're going into your Furret. If they're going to a Ghost mirror match, you probably go into your Dark. So you just kind of need to know right off the top of your head, okay, this is what I'm leading. If I get a good lead and they get out into this is where I need to go. So I think you've done that pretty well. What I'm a little more confused about is why you're staying in with a Dunsparce against a rollout user and a one that has Drill Run and Rock Slide, both which hit super effective against Marowak. Just wanted to chip it, I guess, or force them to throw energy. Don't really know, but we'll take it out anyways. Okay, Gastrodon, terrible lead. Furret here. Let's see if they get out or just decide to stay in and chip here. That's just a body slam, so you can let this go. Oftentimes, though, what this probably means is they have like a Furret of their own or something else in the back. Okay, Wiggly could have came in quicker. Usually when you see that and they're doing something very obvious, like just throwing a body slam, it's because they want to keep switch, but they want to chip you enough to guarantee they're going to win the mid game there. So it's somewhat what they're doing here. They chipped you enough that, yes, you're still going to get to some Swifts, but Wiggly was able to take switch guaranteed. It's Swift and Icy Wind, so I would just let this go. But they don't really care because they just want to ensure, oh my goodness, what are they doing? They just want to ensure alignment as they give up alignment. Going to shield up a potential body slam. These charms are going to hurt, but they're so low that you can basically just go Night Slash, one Leafage and a Night Slash each time. They just let it go. Oh, crap. They're screwed. The attack sharply rises, not messing around here, just going straight Frenzy. I imagine they're going to shield up anything anyways. But no, they do not. Well, yeah, you know what? Frenzy's only neutral. I take that back because Frenzy's only neutral. And with the Bone Club is double super effective. So even though Bone Club's a bad move and Frenzy's like a nuke, not a nuke, but like an insanely good move, you have to respect the Bone Club because that will one-shot you. But after taking that Frenzy, it is now just a bait Night Slash range, especially after the boost. And they just let it go knowing that they're kind of screwed. Florges, one that would have been an amazing matchup up until Community Day because now it's a weird matchup. Fairy Wind resisted, Trailblaze, Fairy moves, all resisted, Chilling Water super effective. So taking a super effective Chilling Water, the only concern is that it outpaces you too, so they can just shield. Okay, they don't. Making the catch, the only concern with this play is that you just locked yourself in this matchup. You gave up switch, and you're losing the switch now. And you locked yourself in a matchup where you cannot reset your lowering the attack. So it's kind of like a tough scenario here. You do pull out a Corviknight, which is decent, given that you have the Meow in the back. Is it MEOWSCARADA or SCARADA? MEOWSCARADA? Drop it in the comments what it is. But now you get the Fire Pokemon, although they are doing super effective. They came in here trying to catch, I guess. Do not catch properly. Drifblim comes in. So going to grab one shield or take this out. You should instant swap so you don't have to lower your defense and not reset. Too late. Attack and not reset. So now we have to shield up the super effective Icy Winds while at the same time they are lowering your attack and you're not able to reset that. Um, I mean, unless you get like the boost here. And not enough. So now you will take this out. They may shield to lower your attack for the second time. Like, it just seems like an obvious play. Nope, letting it go. They do have energy on the Corviknight. I guess with energy on the Corviknight and a very quick air cutter against a very glassy. Yeah, okay, that's actually smarter. Although if you had the move, you might as well just lower the attack for the second time too. But yeah, otherwise a pretty tough one. So, should use this team? Well, you're lucky you didn't see Galarian Moltres. Let's talk about each individual piece. Furret I've used because it was shorter on the battles. They submitted 10, but one they said had notifications, so I just didn't put that one in. And then one was a 30-second battle, so I just didn't put that in. So it's like 8 battles here. So Furret, yes, I think is still very strong in this meta. Not a ton of fighters. Few more fairies, so the Sucker Punch is not doing as much as safe as it was last season, but still just an overall pretty good Pokemon in the mid game. More steals too, so that actually hurts your move set. So more Fortress seems to be. I mean, Fortress Scissors was here last season. That all resists. More in Empoleon. Oh, actually, in Empoleon you can hit neutral with Trailblaze, so it's still. Marowak and Meow. Marowak is the question is why are you using Marowak? This is my problem with Marowak. Fire is already a very bad typing in this meta, right? You're weak to rock, which your rock users got buffed. You're weak to water, which has been meta forever, and you're weak to ground, which has been meta forever. So you're weak to 3 of the most prevalent typings in the meta. You then go and add yourself 2 more weaknesses, Ghost and Dark, which are also pretty prevalent in the meta. So all of a sudden you have a ton of weaknesses. So the question is, why are you using Marowak? Like, what is its strength? You can say this is a balanced team. Meow is weak to fire, and it's going to be weak to fighting, and it's going to be weak to fairy. And Marowak will deal with every single one of those. So if you're truly looking for a balanced team, yeah, it makes sense. Would I use Marowak in general? I don't think so. I think, I understand its strength having 3 different variations of movesets here. Like, you can look at Furret, and that's what makes Furret strong, right? You have a Sucker Punch with a neutral stab swift and a Trailblaze for coverage and boosting your attack, and Sucker Punch is a good different dark move, so you have like coverage there. Marowak, to a certain extent, has those same qualities, right? You have the Fire Spin for the grass and for bugs and the steals, and then you have Bone Clubs for your rocks and your steals, and then you have Shadow Bone for like neutral situations. I just find that, like, if you're going to use a Pokemon like this that has so many weaknesses, I almost want it to be like a specialist. Like, yes, you've got like enough coverage in every one of these moves here, but if like I would rather have like a fire Pokemon that has like Blast Burn or Overheat, like a Charizard or Typhlosion or Ninetales with like a different second move. Like Ninetales is just Weather Ball, but like Thunder Punch or Air Cutter that are like, you get Stab on Air Cutter too. So that's, I don't know. Marowak just seems like it's not focused enough, and it's not fine that it's fine that if you're not focused enough, it's not fine when your typing is a killer and you don't have like an insane moveset to offset that typing weakness, in my opinion. Dark Grass is an interesting one. Grass is very, very, very weak in the meta right now, like pretty much non-existent, and some of the grass have secondary typings that make water even better, right? The 2 main grass that I've seen so far are Cradily, which is half rock, which is weak to water, so that makes water neutral, and Toadscroll, which is half ground, which makes water neutral too. So even like I'm using grass to answer water, it doesn't really work when those 2 actually, water can do okay against those 2. So dark grass, like getting a grass in here that doesn't offset that sort of water weakness or ground weakness in the case of rock on Cradily, I think is very strong. I'm fine with it being a glass cannon, right? You can just build teams around glass cannon. Maybe that's the other thing that I will say about this team. Not that Marowak's glassy, but it seems at time like Marowak probably does better with shield advantage too. Fret's fine. Fret's got some bulk and spammy enough that you can just take in whatever shield matchups you want. Maybe you want something a little more bulky in the front if you're going to double shield this thing in the back. Those are my only thoughts on the actual Pokemon. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching, and I will... when's this going up? Okay, so just a reminder. My days are all confused here. I think this is going up Friday afternoon. There is a Go Battle weekend this weekend. I think I mentioned it in the other video. I'm pumping out a lot of videos, so I don't remember the days they're all going up. But there's a Go Battle weekend, 100 battles on Saturday and Sunday. Good time to grind to Legend. I would not be surprised if I'm going to push really, really hard. I had a really bad day yesterday, Thursday. Multiple 1-4s trying to find a different team. So I dropped a lot. Like, not a lot. Well, like, yeah, I've dropped to like 2,700-ish when I was at like 2,840 at the top here. So definitely down a lot. We'll try to make a lot of that back this weekend, and we'll see how it goes. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.